and grit in the first three quarters, but it tapered off towards the end and down the stretch. What can be done to change that or counter?
First I give the Bucks a lot of credit. I thought they played extremely well. And again, they make you pay for your mistakes. We've got to figure out the how in moments of pressure and anxiety. When teams are making a run, we have to figure out how we get organized, the plays that need to be made, the defensive rebound that needs to be had, all those small things that we just have to improve on in order to compete with a team like this.
Kelsey
Russo, The Athletic. JB, kind of going off of that, what did you see as the struggle to find an offensive flow in the second half?
Again, we'll go back and watch it, obviously. But I thought we played in traffic a lot. I thought they do a really good job of protecting that paint and playing with length and getting deflections. And I don't feel like, we played with the proper spacing to make them pay. So that's something, again, we'll look at and we'll continue to work on.
Did you see them defending the three-point line differently tonight versus last night? Because while you guys took 28, you only made 6, but did you see any difference in that aspect as well?
No, I feel like they do a good job of, challenging shots and contesting shots. I just think we had some open ones that we didn't knock down tonight as well.
And then we've talked kind of bigger picture about the process. These are learning curves. This is part of these tests. As you look at the Clippers game, last night's Bucks game, and this game, how do these continually just help that process and that progress, just being able to pull things from them and being able to I guess locate certain things to work on?
Well, you have to learn. Like you play against teams, that are championship level teams, and you learn areas where you need to improve versus in order to compete with the best. So again, we'll continue to study. We'll continue to work with our guys. We'll continue to get better.
Thanks.
Marla
Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. It looked like Drummond was about as efficient as he could get. Was that kind of what you wanted from him? And is that kind of the model going forward for the kind of night you need?
Yeah, I think so. The more, we kind of diversify his touches and how he gets the ball and the angles of where he can score from, I think the better. And I thought we did that. I thought he got, some action off pick and roll, some post-ups, some running the floor. I think he got a little bit of everything tonight instead of just, playing out of the post where the defenses can kind of just key in on him.
And they shot like 55% from the field and 47% on threes. Was that just a horrible night from you or a great night from them?
A little bit of both. There was mistakes made where we ended up giving up open shots. They made some contested ones, but we have to get better defensively again. I think we've taken a step back with our defense. And obviously, again, this is a high-powered offensive team we're playing. But, they make you do things that you don't necessarily want to do because of, one night it's 70 points in the paint. The next night it's 40+% in three. So, we got to get back to our foundation of our defensive system and get back to scrapping and clawing a little bit more as well.
Thank you.
Chris, go ahead.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. JB, do you see something specifically that has led to the slippage on defense?
I think it's that, Chris. I think it's at this point in the season is figuring out, how do we get enough on-court practice time to rep out what we're doing. I think the games are coming so fast that it's hard to get quality practices in. And we just need to find a moment where we can get some time and kind of get back to who we are. I think also, in trying to play a little bit faster, I think that's taken a little bit out of the steam we had defensively as well.
While you don't have that time, JB, and it doesn't look like you're going to have that time until maybe you come back to Cleveland after this long road trip, is there something that you can do to, I guess, weather the storm?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's, the foundation is there. We've been doing, breakdown drills and those types of things, but, I think it's, when the opponents keep changing, and again, give credit to the opponents that we faced, right? We played some really good offensive basketball teams here of late, but, I think it's just a matter of doing what we do and forcing teams to adjust to that, and just find some consistency in that while we're missing the opportunities to practice.
I know as a coach, it's one game at a time and coach speak all the time, but you're also human and you can read a schedule. Did you have to brace your guys for this daunting task that's ahead of you with all of these playoff teams coming?
You know what? And then, again, at the expense of the coach speak, we, typically try to stay in the moment. And we've tried to focus on who we are and let that kind of take us through this. Obviously, we understand, what's in front of us. But, we try to make sure that we're paying attention to who we are, pay attention to our details, and see how that translates.
Angel.
Coach, you mentioned just the challenge of playing faster for your team, and that may be the pressure that comes with the backcourt for Darius and then Colin pushing. But when you see that, is there also something you want to get from your forwards that can take a little bit of that pressure off? I know Taurean Prince scoring double figures off the bench is a big boost, but is there anything else that you want to see more of from the forwards to help them out a little bit on the offensive end?
Well, I mean, it's twofold because they go hand in hand, right? It's the plays of our guard make our forwards better, because the ball is in their hands so much. They're playing pick and roll. They've got to make the reads. Our wings, have to present themselves and make themselves open and find their windows so the guards can make the passes to them so they can find those open shots. So I think it's twofold, and it's something that will continue